Good morning. Ever since I saw the graduation speech during our information session, I knew that I wanted to stand in front of you all today and share my story and what Year Up means to me. I'm originally from the East Coast, born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I never met my father, and my mother and grandmother tried their very best they could to support my 4 siblings and me. As a child, I must admit, I felt like I had the world in the palm of my hands. One thing my mother and grandmother did very well was protect us from realizing that we were poor. I guess it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I realized some of our living conditions weren't normal. When I finally reached high school, I think this is when those struggles took a toll on my life emotionally. I lost focus, and I couldn't really understand what I wanted out of life because it seemed like this constant cycle of welfare, violence, and poverty was everlasting. So how do I even escape? As a student, I remember always being pulled to the side by my teachers, telling me how smart I am, that all I needed to do was apply myself. I remember thinking, now how many students have you told that today? But now I realize whether that was the truth or just a tactic to get students to apply themselves better, I should have never questioned it. Why? Because I should have believed in myself in the first place. I shouldn't have needed my teachers, friends, or anyone else tell me who I can be, who I should be, or who I will become. So I graduated, low GPA, still really didn't care or know what was next for me in this journey called life. But I knew one thing. I didn't want to live in the environment I was in anymore. I went away to Job Corps and studied to become a pharmacy technician. Sadly, as an unfocused young man, that quickly came to a halt. Okay, fine. I'll go to the military, join the Army, do something meaningful with my life. Sadly, as an unfocused young man, that also came to a halt. Although these 2 experiences weren't for me, I am grateful for them because they did pull me from the environment that I was in. I went to Virginia with my siblings, and for about 2 years, I bounced around different homes trying to figure out what I wanted and what I should be doing. Then one day, I thought to myself, this isn't working. Why am I here? W.E.B. Du Bois said, the most important thing to remember is this: to be ready at any moment to give up what you are for what you might become. That's when I decided to get up and give up everything that I am. There was no looking back. I was going to change myself, my scenery, my vision, my focus, my future, because it is mine to change. By following my heart, I randomly chose to come to San Francisco, August 1st, 2015, with a book bag full of clothes and about $160 in my pocket. I was in a place I've never been before, with no friends, family, home, or even an idea of what I was going to do. But for the first time in my life, I wasn't confused about the decision I had made. I was homeless, but I wasn't helpless. I quickly found a shelter, and I began to focus on employment. I acquired my guard card and began working security. Interestingly enough, now that I'm thinking back on this, there were other job opportunities that would have compensated better, but I think everything happens for a reason. I was meant to be a security guard, working at Salesforce West, turnstiles 7 through 9, floors 3 through 15 for a reason. That reason being Marissa Roberts and Jelly Pineda, 2 year-up interns at the time that noticed the young man and thought, he's ready for a change. He's ready for a year up, and our conversation began. I remember thinking, there's no way this program could be real. I even asked Marissa, how much extra is she getting paid if I sign up? But finally, I said to myself, you don't want to be a security guard forever. So why don't you look into this program? And I did. I researched Year Up and instantly felt like this was the opportunity I've been searching for. I signed up, I handed in all the documents necessary as quickly as possible because I didn't want to be overlooked. And before I knew it, I was being invited to join the program as a Class 17 student. I remember my first day. I thought, okay, just go stand in the back. I don't need any friends. Let's get in and get out. That was my idea of a successful day. And hopefully I can pull this off for the whole year. Not even 10 minutes into my hiding, I'm already approached by a huge smile and greeting from Arthur Bayani and a camera in my face from his brother JT. And instantly, I'm thrown into a panic. Of course, I played it cool, talked a little bit. Then we headed off to our first class to meet the rest of our colleagues and staff to kick off orientation week. Orientation week was amazing. It was almost like having a close friend from 1st to 6th grade, and then you lose contact, and then meet again as freshmen in high school. That's how I can compare meeting some of the people that I've met at Year Up. After orientation week, we started learning and development, where great relationships were being formed, an amazing support system. We were learning new skills, both technical and interpersonal. We chose our career tracks, where I studied project management, and everything seemed to be going smooth, and I was happy. I was genuinely happy. But things weren't always so great. I remember my first 2 days missing program. I had lost the housing that I was in at the time, and once again, I had nowhere to go. I remember sleeping at BART until midnight, until they kicked us out, then finding a cheap car to rent so I could sleep in the back seat and go to Planet Fitness in the morning for a shower. I was too embarrassed to go to program those days. I didn't want anyone to pity me or to treat me different because of my situation. At this time, I contemplated quitting the program and focusing on my security work instead. Thankfully, because of the existing support system, some great friends, and student services who's helped me out so much more than I can thank them for, I found a place to stay and was focused back on completing this program. After learning and development, it was finally time for internship, which was an extremely nervous time, at least it was for me. This was the first time I've ever worked in a corporate environment, in a company that college students dream of working for. I entered at Zynga as a learning and development coordinator, and it was amazing. My team's culture and my managers, Corey Cooper and David Rice, made the transition seamless. It was almost like I was headed to a second year up. They were genuinely concerned about my growth, not just what I had to offer the team. Less than halfway through, my manager, Corey, actually ended up finding opportunity elsewhere, which put me right back into this nervous place. I had no idea what this meant for my future, but unknowingly, although she was an amazing manager, her leaving opened more opportunities for me to learn within the people operations team. I was able to not only work with learning and development, but also with university relations, talent acquisition, benefits, and a couple of projects for our human resource business partner. Year Up helped me build the skills to make this all possible. But aside from the skills that I've learned at Year Up, I think the most important lesson learned for me was how to value myself as a person. Year Up helped me become more open-minded, strengthen my focus, and not become a better person, but a better version of myself. You know, not having my immediate family here actually started to worry me while I was going through the program. I honestly couldn't stop thinking about graduating today and not seeing my mother's, grandmother's, and siblings' faces. Then as graduation started to get closer, I realized how selfish I was being. My family can't make it because of lack of funds, jobs, etc. Yet there's colleagues here today whose family can't be here for reasons that are far more emotional. So if you would please join me in a moment of silence for those family members that can't be here with us in life today. This is for you. Now, let's not forget, today is a happy day, and I want the remainder of my speech to maintain the energy that today will bring. So let us change pace. While writing this speech, I realized that I do have family here today. They're sitting right here with me. They're walking across this stage with me. So for my family, I prepared a piece that I would love to share with you all called We Are Family. We are family because of the foundation we've created, this fortress of support that served as a crutch which carried us to today, in which we can say we've made it. We are family because of our ambitious attitudes, our adventurous ways that carried us from L&D to internship to across this stage. We are family because of the memorable moments, from a member of our learning community walking into class, all the way to the most memorable moment of them all, the Gerda dab. Thanks, Gerda. We are family because of our individual personalities that make us all different yet intertwined, and I hope that meeting me has made an impact on your lives just as much as meeting you has made an impact on mine. We are family because of love, because that's when your heart beats the strongest, that's when you laugh the loudest, and tonight, look into the mirror, smile, and know at that moment, you can be the proudest. We are family because of Year Up, the year up we endured and conquered together. Just remember, we are family. And to my family, I would like to wish you the best in your success, because your beautiful future is just as important to me as my own. Now please join me in a huge round of applause, not for class of 17, but for family of 17.